At the end of the first film, we were shown that Raccoon City had been attacked by the same virus that they tried to escape from in the Umbrella Hive. The sequel begins by reminding us what happened in the previous film, then we're shown that all is good over at Raccoon City. So it doesn't really begin right after Alice escaped from that building that she was in at the end of the first film. Not a bad thing, since it's good to show us what Raccoon City was like before disaster struck. We see a beautiful neighborhood, and then the camera pans down beneath Raccoon City, showing us the Umbrella Hive entrance, with an Umbrella Graphics logo inserted in with the text. I guess they wanted to remind us that it's Umbrella. Okay, so once again, Umbrella sent over more employees to investigate what went on inside the Hive, and to unlock the entrance, this guy uses a hacking gauntlet device. Damn, Umbrella. Did you also invent the Predator's gauntlet device? This must be a prototype, right, Paul? So even this hacking device has little Umbrella logos for the hidden ID password, and the locked entrance has an Umbrella logo on the center. That's 3 Umbrella logos in 2 seconds, Paul. So, after opening the Hive, they are instantly attacked, which quickly explains how the zombies got out of the Hive. I guess this one zombie was a Crimson Head. How else could he have moved that fast? Well, Crimson Heads aren't a part of this movie, so that was just one really hungry zombie. Right, Paul? So after the Umbrella higher-ups found out that zombies had escaped the Hive, they sent out their Men in Black agents to pick up every one of their important employees in Raccoon City. One of them happens to be a guy called Charles Ashford. No relations to the Ashford family in Code Veronica. You know, if Paul was trying to use this last name as some sort of a reference to the games, this is a terrible way of doing so. Fans know about the Ashford family. They play a big role in the Code Veronica game. You can't just use that last name and slap on a character that has no relations with the Ashford family whatsoever. They also mention that this guy is the creator of the T-Virus. Then why didn't they just call him Edward Ashford? Let's move on. So they sent Umbrella agents to pick up their top employees, and since Charles' daughter is still in school, they sent some agents to pick her up as well. But on their way to their destination, the vehicle with his daughter in it gets rammed by a truck, and they decide not to turn around and just forget about it. Well, can't complain. After all, it is Umbrella. The camera then pans over to show us that she's still alive. Where are the pedestrians though? This whole city area looks completely abandoned, and the outbreak hasn't even started. How do you even have a car accident when there is no traffic or anyone on site? Also, the car was already lifted on one end before the truck even struck the vehicle. Who the hell was driving that truck? It would have made sense if the trucker was infected, but no one ever addresses who rammed them, and everyone just moves on. So I guess we need to move on as well. 13 hours go by, and we are finally introduced to the one and only Jill Valentine, the legendary STARS member that should have been featured in the first film. But whatever, she's here now, right? So before revealing the character, we are shown that she has a few newspaper articles about her, and she was duped? Jill Valentine disgraced? What did she do exactly? Let's read what's clear here. Raccoon City lost one of its brightest police officers, Jill Henderson. Henderson? Jill Henderson?
This is wrong. I think...
Okay, so this guy who's writing this article got 2 characters mixed up. Jill Valentine and this other STARS member who was made up for this film known as El Capitan Henderson. Well, Captain Henderson. You'll see him for like a brief moment. In this article, it mentions that Jill and others went into the Arklay Mountains and dealt with zombie-like creatures. Okay, so when did that happen exactly? We saw what happened in the first film. Paul completely rewrote the events of the first Resident Evil. With what happened in the first film, there's no way Jill and other STARS members were able to run into a pack of Cerberus and zombies while Alice was in Wonderland. So right away, they're contradicting the movie's story while trying to play it off as if the original story also went on? No, Paul. This doesn't make sense, Paul. But anyways, in this version, Jill has been suspended because they did not believe that she, along with others, dealt with zombies in the Arklay Mountains. Which I guess I shouldn't believe either, right? But whatever, let's move on. We're only 6 minutes into the movie, god damn. By now, we're shown that the outbreak has begun. So Jill heads over to the police station, and my god, did they choose wisely on the actress that would portray Jill Valentine. Even her wardrobe is identical, with a few adjustments. She easily disposes of a few zombies in the police station and tells Captain Henderson to shoot them all in the head. Day gets saved by Jill, and it doesn't matter why he was arrested, because right now, it's time to make a run for it. You know, I feel like I haven't seen the Umbrella logo enough. Oh, there it is. 5 logos this time, right on! Oh.
Another one.
By the way, if you're planning on taking a shot every time you see the Umbrella logo, you're gonna get shit-faced within the next 2 minutes, no matter where you are in the movie. These guys can't stop shoving the Umbrella logo down our throats. So this guy wakes up Alice, and now we're up to speed with the ending of the first film. Now we see that all exits have been blocked, and everyone near the exits must be cleared in order to verify that the infection does not spread. We then go to a random damsel that's being chased by a group of zombies, but this scene is butchered by the obnoxious editing. I don't know who thought this would work to make the situation look scary. It's terrible. They use this trick again in a scene later on, but luckily this scene doesn't last long as a chopper with Umbrella mercenaries arrives on time to save the woman. This is where we are introduced to Carlos Oliveira, played by Oded Fer. Don't get me wrong, I love the actor, but why did they cast him to be Carlos? Did they not know that Carlos was 21 years old during the Raccoon City outbreak? They didn't even get his haircut right. He looks more like he could have portrayed Chris Redfield instead. So Carlos notices that a woman on a building rooftop is being chased by zombies, and he orders the pilot to bring him down to rescue her. But the pilot refuses since they have their orders, so Carlos dives in to save the woman while he's strapped onto a rope that isn't even attached to the chopper. He was saved because his partner acted fast when it came to attaching it to the chopper, but what if he didn't even notice it? What then? So, Carlos is saved by his partner, and he even manages to get straight headshots while free falling. Okay, is this humanly possible? He saves the woman, but she refuses to go with him because she was bit. So, she Kermit suicides.
There's no going back!
No!
Wait a minute. If she was gonna jump to her death because she was infected, then why the hell didn't she do it earlier? Why did she look at the ledge and back away? Let's move on. So we go back to one of the exits. Jill meets up with a STARS member that's not Kenneth Sullivan and a reporter. Then after one of the civilians starts turning into a zombie, the Umbrella guy mentions that the infection has reached them, so they better close the exits and force everyone to go back to their homes. Again, whose idea was this? We then get a scene which is actually a good homage to the intro of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. For once in this film, Paul did something right and shows us a reenacted version of the police force with SWAT teams and mercenaries fighting off the hordes of zombies on the streets. This is something we wanted to see in a live-action movie based on Resident Evil 3. However, this isn't Resident Evil 3, but I won't complain. I know they're skipping Resident Evil 2 since they don't even involve Leon, Claire, Birkin, or anyone in that game. But seeing as the first film decided to retell the events of the first... Okay, now I'm confused. I think it's okay to skip the events of Resident Evil 2 then, right? Nah, they fucked up. Sadly, this scene gets interrupted by switching to... What's this guy's name? Major Kane? Okay. So he asks Charles to leave in the helicopter as he was instructed, but Charles refuses to do so because he wants to find his daughter. Surprisingly, Major Kane allows it. Charles then proceeds to search for his daughter by hacking into Umbrella software. He searches through iconic Raccoon City locations such as Raven's Gate Church? Paul, why didn't you just let them venture through the clock tower? Let me guess, you didn't play the game, so you thought, who gives a shit about the locations of Raccoon City? It's gonna blow up by the end of the movie anyways. Damn it, Paul, how could you include locations such as a clothing store, a gun shop, a church, and not even include any of the iconic names for those locations such as the Arcus clothing store, the Kendo gun shop, or the St. Michael clock tower? Know your audience, Paul. I'm surprised they included the Arklay Mountains shown in the weather forecast. So, going back to Jill, the reporter, and Duke, they make their way towards the Raven's Gate Church, and we're shown 2 gargoyle statues up above. If you're wondering why they did this, it's because initially they meant to include a licker standing in place as if it was a gargoyle. It was only shown in the movie trailer, but they saved that surprise for later. For some reason the lickers are black in the trailer. I don't know why they did that. After the 3 of them meet a guy who's hiding in the church, they hear a noise and Jill goes over to check it out. We then get a brief moment where the shot kind of resembles the camera angle from the Resident Evil 1 remake. It's a nice touch, but that's about it. There's no tension since we've seen that Jill can headshot a few zombies in a crowded room within a second. She eventually finds a woman on a chair who is revealed to be a zombie, and a priest was there looking after it. But here's the stupid part. The priest was feeding that zombie all along. I don't know why. So many questions with nothing answered as both the priest and the zombie are quickly disposed of. What, was this supposed to creep anyone out? This scene went by so fast that if you left the room to take a piss and come back, you would have missed it. And it doesn't change anything. Jill doesn't get traumatized or bit. It's a very pointless scene. The reporter chick then freaks out after hearing gunshots. She tries to run out of the church, but there are multiple zombies at the entrance. They manage to block the entrance and avoid having any zombies break through the entrance, but right away they are greeted by the lickers. Yeah, this time it's more than one. 3 lickers. Shit's about to get real. The random guy with a gun decides to just ditch Duke and the reporter and runs deeper into the church, basically making it easier for the lickers to get him. Okay, what the hell is this? Lickers don't have eyes, Paul. What did you think, they have eyeballs behind that gushy brain? Do your homework, Paul! Unless you got a hold of the second volume of the Biohazard 2 manhwa, but I highly doubt that. So this guy gets taken down by a licker, which means that their problems just doubled. Because if you remember what happened in the previous film, after a licker has tasted new blood, it will evolve into an even deadlier creature. No. What happened to the liquor that tasted new blood? Come on, Paul! You can't even get your own logic right? Where's the evolved liquor at? So, fuck what happened in the previous film. Forget what you learned from that movie because Paul over here completely forgot about the logic he made up for the first film. And now, it's time for Milla, the merriest of all Sues, to jump in and steal the show. So step back, Jill. Gotta shine that spotlight on Paul's waifu. What do you think this was going to be about you? Not unless you want to sleep with the director.
It's Milla Jovovich's movie. She's driving the narrative.
By the way, the lickers look fucking terrible in this movie. Remember how the CGI looked so damn realistic when it came to the licker in the first film before it mutated? Well, these ones look like they were made with PS1 cinematic graphics. Why is the brain red? Actually, why doesn't it look like it's a brain? I better not analyze it any further, it's just gonna get worse. So, Alice rides a motorcycle through a church window like she's fucking Hwarang and hits a licker with a motorcycle, just like how you can do that in the game, right? Then easily disposes of all 3 lickers without breaking a sweat. Damn, Alice. Are you even using 10% of your power? Okay, let's go back a little bit and dive into the stupidity of this scene. Alice no longer has a problem dealing with a licker. In fact, she can easily dispose of 3 lickers, almost as if it was barely an inconvenience. First of all, how did she manage to make a motorcycle leap high enough to break through that tall-ass window? Also, if the lickers were fast enough to dodge bullets, then why the hell didn't that licker dodge the oncoming motorcycle? The moment she turned that bike around, that's when all 3 lickers should have dove straight on top of her instead of ironically becoming the easiest targets to hit all of a sudden. Wow, look everyone! An umbrella logo on a bullet! Why? I don't know. Because it's cool? So then the movie goes over to show us what Day-Day's been up to. And well, this was kind of funny, to be honest.
GTA, motherfucker! Oh, yeah! 10 points!
Points? Does GTA have a point system? Well, anyways, we're gonna have to stop here for now and continue off with the second part for this review. I was hoping to cram everything I could into one video, but just like with the previous film, I got a lot of shit to say. So, with that said, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd like to see extra videos, have early access to upcoming videos, and you'd like to vote on what you'd want to see next, or you simply just want to see your name at the end of the videos, then feel free to support the channel by donating a single dollar to my Patreon. The link is on the description along with the link to my Facebook page, DeviantArt, and Twitter. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.